Hey, 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 hey. What's up? What's up? The Knowledge is Free podcast is back, motherfuckers, again. Yeah, I'm back, and I'm black, and you are too. And if you're not melanated in black, or whatever we call it, African American, African, Negro, black, then wherever the fuck, who cares? Shit, goddamn. Appreciate y'all listening. This is the Knowledge is Free podcast. This is Warren G, the place to be. Been sucker free and clown free since 2003. What's up, y'all? What's going on tonight? Today, tomorrow, in the morning, whenever y'all get around to listening to it. I just want to send some shouts out to all the people that's been listening thus far. You know, I was talking to my sister early today on the phone, and she was just, you know, we was talking about the podcast and talking about, you know, how black people need to stick together. So shouts out to my sister. I appreciate her listening. And some of the things we was talking about was just mainly about how black people got to stick together. And we got to give each other compliments and we got to see the good in each other. You know why? I didn't even really think about that. But that's some real shit. And I had to give my sister props for that, man, because, hey, I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. And it's true. So when you see your fellow brother and sister, don't just say hi, man. If they got something nice, give them a compliment. Stop sizing them up and looking them up and down. God damn. So that's something I'm going to work on. When I see my melanated brothers and sisters, hey, man, what's going on, man? That's a nice car you got. Hey, man, that goes a long way. Especially with us melanated brothers and sisters. Don't be so quick to judge and hate. We have to be more prone to uplifting each other. I think that's how Cat Williams and Tiffany Haddish, I think that's how it got misconstrued, because he was giving constructive criticism, but I think it was taken another way or received another way. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I understand what I'm saying. But yeah, we got to work on those things. That's stuff that I got to work on. Everybody does. And I'm talking about, this is towards melanated brothers and sisters. I'm always going to speak to my own, because that's who I want to see move in a progressive manner, in a positive way. Because let me tell you something, it is not easy to be positive as a melanated brother or sister in the system of white supremacy. So, you know what I mean? It was just very interesting to have that conversation. It really got me to thinking, like, damn, man, she right. Like, you know, you gotta, like, especially when you're dealing with our millennials, they need to be complimented. They need to be looked at and in a different perspective, and not just the perspective of all their millennials that are just into social media. No, they're leading us into the future. So we have to respect them as well too, and show them some love and gratitude. And I think that will go a long way. And we got to stick together. Yeah, man. I already touched on the last podcast, on the Knowledge is Free last podcast about Bill Cosby. Man, they locking that nigga up. I had to touch on that real quick. They locking it up, family. People, see, that should let y'all know. It doesn't matter how much cooning you do for these Caucasians. When they get tired of your ass, they gonna lock your ass up. Within the restrictions of what you're trying to do to them. So if you trying to look them toe to toe or buy something that they don't want you to buy, or you trying to step out of line, they gonna slap you down and tell you, look, nigga, you doing too much. Remember that. It is very easy to speak in a condescending manner towards our fellow brothers and sisters when the Caucasians then gave you a certain amount of millions of dollars, and you are looked at as the non-threatening African American. They love it when you like, oh, don't blame it on the white man and all this other shit. And I'm talking to Bill Cosby and Kevin Hart when it comes to that. We have to stop that. Now, I do give Kevin Hart a lot of props of all the things he's done for black people in the movies, and how he's putting a multicultural cast together and all that. And I give him props for that. I can't never take that away. But let's not forget, Kevin Hart is a non-threatening comedian, and he will not speak up on white supremacy. He had that chance on The Breakfast Club, and he was kind of like, you know, he was in between. He wouldn't really go at that, but he had no problem talking about Mike Epps and Cat Williams. You know, and that ain't necessarily no good thing. And it necessarily ain't no bad thing, because that's his perspective. Just like Bill Cosby, that was his perspective, to to tell us to pull up ourselves by our bootstraps, just like Obama did the same shit. But look at who I'm talking about. These are non-threatening Negroes. So don't let that fool you. That's make-believe. That's imaginary. You know, we have to be a team. Remember that. We are on the same team. That's one thing I tell people, man. When they be like, oh, Warren, man, you doing good. Not really. We not doing good. If I'm awake, because I've been asleep for years and years and years, and now I'm kind of awakened. It's my job to try to wake up as many people as I possibly can. Why wouldn't you want to wake people up? Why would you want them to be asleep? And everybody wakes up at their own level. And let's just get this straight right now. And being awake doesn't mean, oh, I don't drink no more and I don't smoke weed. Man, I don't want to hear all that shit. Ain't nothing wrong with a person having a drink and smoking some weed. Don't think you better than the next motherfucker because you don't smoke weed and they do. Shit. Weed is a good thing. Okay? Just because I don't partake in it or the next person don't partake in it don't mean it's a bad thing for your brother or your sister. Stop judging the motherfucker based on that. If that's not your forte and you don't want to fuck with them, fine, then get the fuck away from them then. But stop acting as if you are better than. Because they might want to go out to a club or they might like to watch a football game. Look, just because Warren gets on this podcast and talks about how he don't really watch football no more and I don't go to the sports book, that doesn't mean that Warren thinks that he's better than the next nigga. Man, I want people to go out and have fun and go to the sports book. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You gotta live your life and do what's best for you. But when I mean awaken, I mean you knowing who you are. That's what I mean. And that doesn't mean, well, they're not awakened because they're a Muslim and I'm a Christian or I'm a Jehovah's Witness or I'm a this or I'm a that. No, see, that's bullshit. Religion divides my people so much, and that will be a topic on one of the next No Way Out podcasts with my co-host Nuke. I had to give a shout out to Nuke too. Shout out to her. But we will be talking about religion and how it divides brothers and sisters. It tears up families. It tears up infrastructures of families and marriages. All that. And we can't let that divide us. We are one team. It doesn't matter. If one nigga goes out there and shoots up a whole bunch of white people or just shoot, nigga, they gonna judge us all by that one act. We get judged that way all the time. That's where stereotypes come from, in my opinion, in my perspective. What do you think people that watch a lot of TV, especially Caucasian, in my opinion, they want to touch your hair and they think that you live in the ghetto and they think you're not educated and they think that you don't know anything outside of whatever you watch on TV, which is love and hip hop and basketball wives and all that. That's what they think. I'll tell y'all right now. I was at work today, clown ass job, you goddamn right. That bullshit that everybody have to go to. And let me tell you this. Oh man. When I said one time, yeah, I'll probably just reading stuff. Read? Because they don't think niggas read books. That's why you have to know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, how the hell do you expect them to know who you are? And even if they do know who you are, they're not going to show you that respect. You have to know who you are to get that type of respect. And we have to encourage each other and push each other even when we don't want to. All we got is each other. Let me tell you something, man. It is very hurtful to work in a corporate America setting and you around a bunch of melanated brothers and sisters and you can't get along. That is very disheartening. It's almost goddamn sad when you get around your fellow brothers and sisters and y'all can't even get along. And y'all don't know which way is up. This nigga want to do this nigga want to do that. Well, I'm better than all these niggas because I got a BA degree from UNLV and in psychology type bullshit. And I'm better than all these niggas because I'm going to move up in this corporate America job. And then the next nigga is like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Fuck this job. We still got to be on the same page. And we got to know who we are. If we coming to the knowledge of who we are, we will be a better team. We'll be more equipped to deal with a lot of the racial showcasing confusion. And I'll say it again, that's from the Neely Fuller books, Racist Compensatory Code of Ethics, a very good book. Because that racial showcasing confusion, that's some real shit. Because that's what they do. They confuse the fuck out of all these niggas and give one nigga a whole bunch of money so he can buy nigga trinkets and then be like, well, you gotta be like him to get these nigga trinkets. Trust me. Look at what Netflix did. Monique got the bitch and complain about Netflix. They gave Tiffany Haddish a deal. But look at the confines of, look at, if you keep it in context, what Monique was talking about, hello, my loves, and all this other bullshit, because they only wanted to give her $500,000. See, you have to look at the underlying point. Monique, my sister, you talking about they only want to give you $500,000 when there are my black brothers and sisters that's barely making $7 an hour, $9 an hour, $10, $12 an hour. And you talking about they only want to give you $500,000 to do a special? Nah. You have to understand that you have to be relatable to your fellow brother and sister. Stop getting these Benzes and Teslas and all this other shit, and you got the big house and you live on the hill. Now you're not relatable to your fellow brother and sister. You don't know who it is. I'm not telling you to move them all to your house and give away all your shit. But we have to understand that these gifts and toys and shit that these Caucasians that has allowed you to have, that's only for a moment in time. Remember that. Because you're going to always need your people. That's why everybody's so torn with Bill Cosby. Everybody's so torn with Bill Cosby because half people are like, oh, that's the Huxtable. Man, he's going to jail. I can't believe they would do that to him. And then half of the niggas is like, fuck that nigga. He was talking shit about us anyway to them white people. That's what happens when you go against your own people. And then when those white people say, guilty nigga, now you want to go back to niggas and be like, oh, just like OJ. Oh, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Like he's some aphrodisiac we never heard of. No, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Yeah, right. And let's see how all these niggas treat you. And then when that Caucasian put his ass in prison for stealing his own shit, I bet you he wasn't thinking that, oh, I'm OJ now. No, you a nigga now. So remember that. You're only as strong as your team. And you only as strong as the people around you. So if you're the smartest person in the crew, and you got a whole bunch of people around you that are not informed, inform them. And stop talking shit about them when you're not around them. I can't stand that shit. That's that Caucasian mentality at the damn corporate America job. You can say, oh, Warren, man, you always blaming it on them. I got books to fucking prove it. Of how slavery isn't just physical, it's mental. And if you can get into the minds and hearts of melanated people in their most deepest subconscious and be like, you are beneath me, they gonna think that. Trust me. So it isn't just no Kanye, oh, well, all those slaves and y'all couldn't do nothing. Well, nigga, Kanye is a slave too. And he's in the sunken place. Because if he read a couple of books, maybe like before the Mayflower, he would understand what the fuck was going on. But lack of knowledge of self, lack of history, lack of knowing what it is, that's why a lot of niggas don't know how to stick together. That's why we got all this gang violence and gang culture and all this other shit. It should be one gang, and that gang should be fighting white supremacy. That's what the gang should be doing. For all you niggas out here, you from Whoop the Whoop said and all this, hey man, I applaud you. But like how they tore up this 15 freeway and redid MLK to their liking, that's what they'll do to your neighborhood when they tired of your motherfucking black ass too. Eminent domain. The biggest gangsters are the government. Remember that. You don't want to know what the biggest gangsters are? It is the CIA, the NSA, and the FBI. Remember that. J. Edgar Hoover was one of the biggest gangbangers. And his whole job was to oppress melanated people. So while we fighting each other, we need to see who's fighting us on the other opposite sides of the team. Remember that. That's why I want to give my brother Eric Reed, who kneeled with Colin Kaepernick, him getting signed to the Carolina Panthers. Or allegedly. We'll see. See, the NFL, they know. Let me tell you something about Nike and Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed and all the other black players that's going to get signed. Let me tell you something about the good old NFL. They're not dumb, just like Nike's not dumb. Nike, I think it was said that Nike already had a contract with Colin Kaepernick, and Nike seized the moment. And I guess their sales went up $6 billion or $3 billion, whatever, since they put out the Colin Kaepernick ad and that they signed him and all that. See, that was a money move because they know what our economic power is. And they know who we are. We just don't know who we are. Remember that. Don't believe everything you see on TV. It's a program for a reason. Right now, I'm reading Anthony Browder's book called The Browder Files. Very, very good book. It talks about how TV is a program. It's a program. They're programming your subconscious. They're programming your consciousness to think a certain way. That's why sometimes if you watch a movie, you're like, damn, that was a good movie. Because it's a program. Are you being programmed? And if you are being programmed, are you being programmed to stand up for your fellow brother, sister? Or are you being programmed to be a goddamn coon? Now, those brothers that kneel with Colin Kaepernick, they will forever be heroes because they stood up for justice. And they didn't mind taking a pay cut or not having money. That's why you put your money away for a rainy day. So when you're ready to take that stand, you can. For all y'all that didn't catch Nick Cannon's interview on Big Boy, very good interview. How he walked away from $10 million a year on NBC. But Nick Cannon is a very intelligent brother. Very intelligent melanated brother. He's vibrating at a high frequency. His melanin is through the roof because for that brother to turn down $10 million because he's not going to let a systemic problem oppress him, that's ballsy. $10 million is a lot of money that a lot of niggas ain't going to walk away from. But he did because he has done the right thing with his money. So he's like, and plus in his mind, he's like, I'll get it again. And that's how we have to think. Now, Warren is not telling y'all niggas to go on the job and get to acting no fool and be like, well, Warren told me that I'm acting fool because I'm going to get it again. No, this is within context and reasoning, I mean. And when I mean like reason, you have to understand, you have to reason with yourself a lot of times too. You can't go on the job and act a fool. Remember that. That job is paying you. But that doesn't mean you have to go out of your way to be a coon and throw your fellow brother and sister under the bus. I can't stand that shit. And if anybody out there is good with their money and you have advice, give it to your fellow brother, sister, cousin, brother, mother, daughter, son. And y'all, young kids out there, listen to y'all parents. Trust me. Whether you think it's constructive criticism or if you think it's negative, still listen to what they saying. Because you can learn from it. Because they've already been down the road that you're heading down. And y'all young kids, stop thinking y'all know every goddamn thing. You know, it's one of these things where we have to understand who we are as a collective. Because they're going to judge us as a collective. You want to bet? That's why they didn't mind blackballing all those niggas that kneeled with Colin Kaepernick. Like, yeah, fuck these niggas. But I guess they didn't understand that Colin Kaepernick was a pretty intelligent guy, and so was the people that were kneeling. And they put their money away, and they weathered the storm. Now everybody want to be a Colin Kaepernick fan. But y'all niggas wasn't they fans when they was kneeling. Well, y'all done, if you are a melanated person right now and you listening to this podcast, be real with yourself. Were you one of the niggas that was like, oh, this nigga dumb, he fucking up his money, why would he do that? Or were you like, you know what, I ain't even watching this shit no more, because that's fucked up what they doing to him. Matter of fact, not only is it fucked up, is why is it we should be putting our right hand over our heart and pledging allegiance to a flag? And that song was written by Francis Scott Keys, who was a well-known white supremacist who felt like black people were inferior to Caucasians and that God put us on earth to be white people's slaves. So why would I be happy listening to somebody sing the national anthem. Now, it's either one or the two. If you talking that, oh, it doesn't really matter. Nah, fuck all that. Which side was you on? Because I look at people like Bill Cosby and I say, damn, Bill. Now, you was talking all that shit to niggas and how we are supposed to be capitulating and bending the knee and acquiescing to Caucasian rule. And you did all that. And all you did was try to buy NBC. And now your ass is going to prison. So that should be a lesson to all y'all. You can coon and be a Steven from Django or tell him about the gunline boss and all this bullshit and a Hayward Shepherd, but that ain't gonna get you no motherfucking way. All you people that's probably like, I don't really like Warren's message, then this shit ain't for you then. Don't listen to it. And if you don't want to listen to it, because you probably a coon anyway. You probably eating a butter biscuit while I'm talking right now. You probably right now to listen. Who you gonna tell on right now? Shit, you shouldn't be listening to this podcast. You should be putting your application in to work for the damn CIA. You damn dry snitching motherfuckers. Can't stand that shit. Man, dry snitch on everybody but your damn self. We gotta have an economical base. I'll keep saying that. Each one teach one about economics, man. You don't have to be in no big house to learn how to move your money and make powerful moves with your money to better your future for you and your kids. You don't have to, man, that's bullshit. Don't let no nigga tell you, well, how you gonna tell me what to do with my money and I got a 5,000 square foot home and you in a 1,500 square foot home. But let me tell you, there's a lot of those homes that ain't even got no damn furniture in it. Remember that shit. And remember, a lot of these NFL players don't make a whole lot of money. Y'all know that shit ain't guaranteed. This ain't basketball or baseball. This is football. You go out there and you can return the ball back on a punt and get a touchdown, and then they ready to give you $20 million, and then they'll guarantee $2 million of it, and then the rest of it is in the air. And then once you break that damn ankle, oh shit, sorry man, you only getting 1.5 million. You know how they do, niggas. Trust me. Y'all have to understand that we won. I'm gonna keep saying that. We can't fight each other. If you have family issues, every family has issues. I don't give a fuck how good it looks from the outside appearance. Every family has issues. And it ain't your job to try to find out what everybody's family issues are. It's your job to work on the issues within your family and be the model for the younger generation coming behind you. Each one teach one. We have to understand that they are going to group us as one, no matter what we do. Motherfuckers think because Obama was in the office that, oh, well, white people ain't racist no more. Man, them white motherfuckers don't give a fuck about Obama's motherfucking black ass being in the president of the United States of America. They gonna still treat niggas according to how they feel. Stop thinking that racism has not changed. The system of white supremacy is real. And that's why I made those comments about Kevin Hart and about Bill Cosby. And I'll do it again. Motherfuckers will talk shit about niggas all day, but when it comes to white supremacy, crickets. And I'm not asking Kevin Hart or Bill Cosby or any of them to stand up for us, because we got plenty of brothers that's standing up for us, like Dr. Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, Corey Holcomb, all those. We got plenty of people that's standing up for us. But when a nigga sits at the highest seat like he claimed to be, and you want to dance around the system of white supremacy, but when it comes to Cat Williams, you want to put all his business out there. See, that's what Caucasians want us to do. And I'll keep talking about that shit. That's what they want us to do. Now, I can't wait till some coon football players come out and be like, oh, I don't think that, they should be rewarding Colin Kaepernick. You know that's going to happen. The Dak Prescotts and all these motherfuckers of the world, they're going to be cooning because they trying to get a check. See, there's a lot of Omarosas around here. And there's a lot of nigga Omarosas too. Black men that have the same characteristics as Omarosa. No diss to nobody, but I get it. You need a paycheck. You trying to get your money. Get your money. But don't think you're going to get the same respect as the Colin Kaepernicks or the Eric Reeds of the world, because they stood on a principle and on a purpose. And stop comparing these athletes to Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali lost every goddamn thing and told them white people to their face how he felt about them. Them white people didn't start liking Muhammad Ali till he had the shakes and he couldn't speak no more. Trust me. They like a docile, non-threatening ass nigga. Trust and believe you me. You may not think so, but it's the truth. But I'll tell you this. They also don't want melanated people learning this economic game and learning about stock and blockchain and Bitcoin and learning about buying Nikes and buying the stock, buying Under Armour and buying the stock. See, they don't want you to know about that. They just want you to just consume. I want my black people to look fly and stay fly. That's what I love about us. We know we have the best style of dress. We have the best style of everything. Our rhythm is priceless. Most Caucasians probably would pay for our rhythm. And our skin complexion too. That's why the ass is always at the tanning salon or at the beach putting that goddamn suntan lotion on their ass trying to look like us. But they can't stand us. Have y'all ever wondered about that? Because they want to be us. Because we are gods on earth. Remember that. And don't ever fucking forget it. But we would be the most powerful people on earth if we were all on the same team and put these little differences aside, because that's all it is. And it starts at home with the family. You know, and it just starts with you. It starts from within. If you see a brother or sister on the street, speak. Stop looking and frowning. I've been doing that ever since I started. That's going to be the challenge. How many melanated people you speak to with sincerity in your heart and not having an attitude and saying fuck that nigga and he ain't shit and all this other shit. That shit don't count. We feel good doing that to each other, but we have to stop. And we have to give people like Colin Kaepernick props. And I'm going to keep talking about that. That's why I keep bringing up both sides. You have the Bill Cosbys and the Kevin Harts, and you have these people that's like, hey man, you can do it. Just, you got to work hard and pull yourselves up by the bootstraps. And then maybe you'll get chosen, or, you know, hey man, that's one facet to it. Or you could be like Colin Kaepernick and be like, nah, these are some white supremacists, and I'm not standing for that damn national anthem. Motherfucker know not to ask me that shit, because they already know what they going to get out of me. Now, when you at work, I would advise to just stay away from that shit. That's just to get you all pissed off so you can be arguing about some shit that doesn't even matter at that moment in time. That's why when people ask me, what do you think about the national anthem? I don't even watch football. Remember that. Because these type of situations, oh, what do you think about Bill Cosby going to prison? Do you really think he should? Because he raped all those people who say, I don't know. Because Bill Cosby ain't paying my bills. Stay away from all that shit. Because that is a decoy. That's a distraction. And then once you say how you really feel, then the white fragility comes on. I don't understand. Like, why are you getting all upset? And calm down. You know, then they want to deem you the angry black man. You know how they act. I know, because I'm around them. As soon as you disagree with what the fuck they got going on, they got an issue. Or you're deemed the bad guy or the volatile guy. Trust me. Go to work, do your job, and then discuss these issues with fellow melanated brothers and sisters. And if there's Caucasians and Latinos that would like to indulge in the conversation and they got good perspectives, listen to them. But I don't care what race they are. If they a coon, they a goddamn coon. And I can't stand that shit. So if they one of these motherfuckers that can't wait to go to work so they can get a pat on their head from master, then get the fuck away from me. Because that is not my deal. That's not, I don't even want that energy around me. Remember that. Yeah, you heard it first. And I'm not going to change that view. Because there are a lot of Caucasians that are in charge of these white corporations or these corporations, these billion-dollar corporations, and they don't have a problem with it all being white people at the top. But then they'll look at you and talk about, oh no, we had a black president. Or they'll put different pictures around or different commercials where it's multicultural, where it's blacks and Asians and all this other shit. Don't get caught up in that shit. This is a black struggle. Every other race has not struggled and has not contributed to civilization the way melanated people are. And that's a fucking fact. Remember that shit. I don't give a fuck about the Chinamen building the railroads. We built everything else in this motherfucker. We built United States of America. They used our principles from Africa to power their belief system. I hate to go off on a tangent, but man, that shit be irritating me. Because you get these cocky ass Caucasians who think that they're responsible for civilization and all this other shit. You better listen to Dr. Phil Valentine. You better listen to Dr. Umar Johnson. You better go get a Hidden Colors DVD. Or you better read some damn books. You better read Michelle Alexander, The New Jim Crow. They're strategically sending us to prison. Flood the neighborhoods with liquor stores and shit. But then when you go to Summerlin, you see at least liquor, but you don't see no bullshit ass liquor store. Trust me, all these bullshit ass vaccinations and shit for population control. Man, the information is out there. You just gotta find it. Stop trying to fight your fellow brother and sister. Get your economic game tight, no matter what position you in. Trust me, I have. And I got way more to go. And a lot of it is reading books. You make time for things that are important to you. Remember that. I know I've learned it. And don't think because you read a couple of books, you're better than everybody. That is to inform you. I don't think I'm better because I read books. I am awakened. I'm mad at myself because I've been asleep this whole goddamn time. But I'll tell you this. Now that I'm awakened, it is my job to enlighten as many people as I can. That's exactly why the knowledge is free. As my mom would say, I'm giving you the grapes for free. For real. You have to really understand how this system works. I don't know everything and I don't claim to know all the answers. This is just my perspective. And from my perspective, now look at it. You got Dak Prescott in the NFL talking about now's not the time for this. Because you know who he works for. Jerry Jones. So he has to say that. And then you have a person like Colin Kaepernick who's informed, who's like, nah, why the fuck would I want to stand for the national anthem? That shit was written by a motherfucking white supremacist. I bet you they wouldn't allow none of us to make no song being half as disrespectful to white people. Y'all know that. And then you think they gonna let it be a national anthem? Remember this, ladies and gentlemen, the Constitution, the Gettysburg Address, the Declaration of Independence, all that shit was written by white supremacists. That's what it was written by. Once y'all understand that, y'all look at everything totally different. Then when y'all go on those corporate America jobs, you can be like, oh, no wonder everybody's white. And message to my Caucasians, stop thinking y'all know what's best for niggas. Especially at these corporate America jobs. They think that you're only successful if you want to move up their corporate structure. And you want to be a neutered black man or black woman. Stop thinking that. Because that's not necessarily true. Because let me tell you this. You define your own success, not Caucasians. That's our problem. They define our success. They're the ones who can give us the deals. So we are quick to down each other and not be a team because we become individuals to get what we want. That's what capitalism is all about. It's about stepping on niggas' head to get to the top. Remember that. Remember, you're not going to always get along with your family, with your friends. I'm talking about real true friends and real true family. But you are a team and y'all melanated. And you cannot go on in life thinking that you don't need help. You're going to need insight. You're going to need intel, help, different perspectives. Because that is what life is about. So much props to Colin Kaepernick, Eric Reed, all those other brothers that kneel. They showing me a different perspective in a different way. And that's inspiring to me. And I hope this podcast has been inspiring to whoever's been listening. And again, I appreciate everybody listening to this motherfucker. Trust me. I appreciate it. And if you know any coon, Sambo, Steven from Django, tell them about the Gun Line Boss, Haywood Shepherd ass motherfucker, send them this podcast so they can know what it is. And they gonna probably be like, why are you sending this to me? And you just say, I just thought you should hear it. And then they're gonna listen to me say this. The reason why you're listening to this podcast, either one, because you share the same values and principles as Warren, or 2, you're a fucking coon and you need to hear this shit. You might not like my language, you might not like what I'm speaking about, but I'm bringing truth to power. This is real shit. And anybody want to have a discussion, I have more than enough books that we can sit down and go over that will back me and vet me out. Hey, tonight was fun. It was real. I'm going to say it again. I appreciate everybody that has subscribed and listened to it. I appreciate it. I am not doing this podcast to get paid. This is free. Trust me. I got a damn job. So I don't need to be on here like no pastor talking about, oh man, make sure you send donations to woo woo woo. Nah, I ain't on that. But remember this, ladies and gentlemen, we're only as strong as our team. No economic base, no togetherness, no self-awareness. We ain't gonna be shit, and we ain't gonna never be respected. Stop looking down on your brother and sister. I'm gonna keep saying that. Stop rolling your eyes at a girl because she got her hair perm pressed and you got braids. Niggas, stop rolling your eyes at niggas because they got an F-150 and you got a Dodge Dakota. Stop that shit. That shit is ridiculous. Get over yourself. Have some self-esteem. And be confident. You are God. Remember that. The God is in you. That's why you are melanated. There's a reason why you're melanated. Appreciate your fellow brother or sister around you. And stick to fucking together, man. Trust me. When you get on those corporate America jobs, stick together. Because that's all you have at the end of the day. Is your people. Because don't nobody got our backs but us. I hope that this podcast will bring joy and is thought-provoking for you. I hope you enjoyed it. And you already know, if you out there, and again, and your girl told you to go to the store and get some milk, and you going over to another bitch's house, and she got GPS on your phone and on that car, and you get busted, you already know what my saying is, y'all. Guilty, nigga. Hey, man, it's been lovely, great. Hey, love and live life. Hey, I'm out. Peace.